Dingle doodlies and flingle flulies. My name is NoodleHouse and we are back on Raging Loop. And we're in the house of, I can't remember her name anymore, but we're in her house, which is good. We're away from the rain. Let us continue. Yeah, the place really was empty. It was just a small room with a low table in the middle, a fridge near the door, and a large duffel bag deeper in. There were two old-looking bookshelves too, but they were completely empty. I wasn't bothered one bit though. Any girl's room was a wonderland to me, the pervert in fucking waiting. Anyway, you went through some big trouble, so I'll drink to you. And I'll drink to you for helping me out. You're a real saint. We opened up our cans, knocked them together and downed them. Hey, it was actually good. The pleasant bitterness and the refreshing carbonation made for a good combo. Ha, so good, I live for this. Come on, you're too young to say that. Yeah, you're right. I'm not despairing for my future or love life yet. You hear that? That's the sound of job hunting and coming. That's a coming here fast. No, don't say that. You'll ruin my beer. She laughed and took a huge sip. It was pretty clear that she could hold a drink. That aside, something really bothered me. This might be a bit late for this, but can I ask you something? Go ahead. Her cheeks were already red. Maybe she didn't hand her a liquor as well as I thought. She had a well-featured face, and I didn't think it was wrong to consider her beautiful. Sure, her clothes weren't the least bit sexy, but I could tell that she had some makeup on. To you, I'm just some stranger who says he's lost, right? Yep. And you yourself are a woman who invited that stranger into an enclosed space and started getting drunk. Oh. Don't you think this is dangerous? She kept gulping a drink even as she formulated a response. The very fact that I could just watch her do that made it a pretty risky situation, and yet... I wouldn't say so. But, time for a Kami Serizawa quiz. Yay! Here's the question. My virginity is threatened, yet I don't feel like I'm in danger. Why? What a fun girl. This only made me like her more, increasing the danger even further. Why the fuck are you talking like you're a rapist? Am I allowed to ask questions? Sure. Can I just assume it's not because I look like a good guy? Well, I don't think you look like a bad guy, but no, I doubt you're good either. You look experienced with women, for one. That unintentional compliment showed that she actually did see me as a potential danger. There are two types of answers to this. Either you expect nothing bad to happen, or you wouldn't be bothered if it did, or you actually want something to happen. I mean, that was 3. I like the fact the main character can't count. I think of several situations for the former. For example, you're actually on the edge and don't care about what happens. Or maybe you're just confident you can defend yourself. Maybe you know martial arts and can kick my ass. Well, it's so logical. Let me guess, you're a scientist. Well, I guess you could say that. Now for the latter. If you intend for something to happen, then... I'm a thirsty perv or something? Wow, talk about not mincing words. I blame the booze. So what else is there? Indeed. What other reason could a woman have to bring a stranger to her home? It would surely be something non-standard like, you want to use me somehow. For example, setting me up as an alibi. I could be useful to you by attesting that you were here. Wow, that's so shrewd. Or maybe you're a serial killer. You brought me here just to get me drunk and kill me. Whoa, so I'm some evil mountain witch now. Sounds great. I'll kill you real good. Sploosh, sploosh. No, I said sploosh. What kind of sound effect was that? I mean, that's exactly what I said as soon as I said it. By the way, you forgot another case. I did? Yep, I could be a really good person who simply wants to help you. Was it time for me to be ashamed of my filthy mind? But wait, is that really important enough to risk being assaulted? Oh, so you're thinking of assaulting me? I'm just talking in general, you know, the cliche scenario. Me, a rapist, clearly talking really creepily to you. You should probably call the police already at this point, to be honest. Kiemi, this guy is a creep, I don't like him. I like the fact that this is one of the ones where it's like, you're not a likable character. You're not a likable character, that's fine. She stopped talking and turned red. It was so cute I thought she was actually doing it on purpose. Man, was she drunk. We were just on our second cans. And how about this? If I don't let you stay here, something even worse would happen. I'd feel really bad. Care to elaborate? There's some scary wild animals around here. You might have gotten torn up and eaten. That'd have left a bad taste in my mouth, so I figured I'd just let you stay instead. I see. So you're balancing risk and goodwill. Didn't expect that. Really now? You got any idea of how much a bad guy you seem now? Huh, I do. I mean, you assumed I was a thirsty perv, a serial killer, or needing an alibi before considering I was just a nice person. You're the one who brought up the perv thing. Details. So what's the right answer? Huh? We're not just messing around? Get it right and I'm giving you a nice present. Get it wrong, you're dead. Splosh, splosh. Seriously? You'd feel good about letting me die. Ding, 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 you're right. Oh, cool. What a reaction. Oh, cool. I wasn't joking when I said this area's dangerous. There's deers, boars, wild dogs, and bears. And even a werewolf. I mean, not even a werewolf. I actually saw deer and boars myself, but bears? Yep, moon bears. Though, they are big. But they do attack. It's pretty dangerous out there. And that's just wild. But there's something even worse. Huh? What? Worse than bears? Snakes, monkeys, crows, spiders. Huh? Were they venomous or something? I really doubted that. A venomous crow. That'd be a first. Those really didn't seem worse than bears. Also wolves. There aren't any wolves in Japan. Yeah, there are. You're in the sticks, you know. She smiled and drank out the third can. Speaking of wolves, whatever the reason you end up coming to this pretty girl's home, won't you become a wolf yourself? No. What a gentleman, have another one. I wasn't too sure, but I felt like she dodged the subject. I wasn't being cautious enough, but then again, I've been wandering aimlessly for a long time by now. I had enough recklessness in me to enjoy sharing a drink with a cute, if shady girl. Aha, we survived the night at least. At least it also saves as well, so it saves me having to faff about with it. ... The last thing I... ... The last thing I remember was our little... When was the last time you pissed yourself while sleeping talk? I had to tell her about the time I got so drunk, wet my pants in the middle of the boarding house. She laughed so hard she started frothing at the mouth and passed out. I woke up with a splitting headache. Oh man. Morning already? Light poured in through the frosted window. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. 7 in the morning. I'd gone to sleep somewhere between 2 and 3, which probably wasn't quite enough sleep. At least I didn't wake up to some horror movie scene. The building wasn't in ruins and the girl wasn't actually a skeleton. Though, in a way, this might have been worse. She was spread out on the floor the other side of the mini-table. Her breathing was mixed with some weird gurgling sounds. I hesitantly looked at her. The saint that saved me from hell I was in last night puked in the middle of her sleep. What was I supposed to do here? As a guest, couldn't really be too harsh on her. Kemi-chan, phew. She wasn't waking up. Well, I'll just do what little I could. And probably move her from not being on her back so she doesn't fucking choke on her vomit. There, that should be good enough. I used tons of toilet paper to clean up her mess and flush it down the toilet. It left it stay on the floor, but it was dirty to begin with, so whatever. I'd even wet a towel and cleaned her face. Even then, she showed no signs of waking up. Some of it was on her hair and clothes, but I figured it was best if she took care of that herself. Kiemi-chan. Morning. The first hint of consciousness so far today. I'll be leaving for a bit. Without waiting for a response, I walked to the entrance. She'd have to take a shower and change and all that, so I killed time outside. I stepped into my still damp shoes with my bare feet. My socks were in the washing machine with a towel she gave me to wipe my legs, and reached for the doorknob. The door knob. I opened the door and was greeted by a gust of wind. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building flew right into my face, making me grimace. The rain from last night was already over. The sky was pretty clear, but despite that, I noticed the visibility of my surroundings was poor. The building was surrounded by leaves. The old structure was basically buried in a forest of trees about as tall as itself. There were branches poking into the exposed hallway. It almost felt like they'd reach out and grab me if I wasn't careful. I kind of felt like I was an overgrown ruin. I turned around and saw the room and Kiemi just as I left them. Yep, it was all real. I closed the door. There were other rooms to this building, which made me wonder if they were occupied, and I wondered the same thing about the area in general. I pushed the branches aside to see if there were some other buildings nearby. Suddenly, something entered my vision. It didn't feel right. Something that shouldn't have been there. The leaves I moved revealed... I did actually read that right, but for some reason my brain was like, no, that is not the right word. Revealed a woman clad in curious clothing. The moment I recognized her as such, she opened her closed eyes. Did our eyes meet? Another strong wind. I shielded my face from the spray of raindrops. When I looked outside again, the woman was nowhere in sight. Was that an illusion? If not, then what? What kind of place was this? It could have been a real Hicksville, a marginal village, a bunch of actual ruins, or an illegal settlement. I had some theories, but I set them aside for now. It seemed like a place worth exploring regardless. I went down the stairs and found no sign of the woman, or anyone else for that matter. A short distance away from the building, I turned around and sure enough, it was pretty much covered in trees. I went to the place where I saw the woman. There were footprints in the grass here. Maybe I'd find her if I followed them? They led me to an open area. It was unused, but it looked like someone was trying to do something with it. Was it supposed to be a construction site? Even if it was clearly abandoned. There were large rocks and lots of sediment near a prefab. From what I could tell, there had been a giant landslide which forced them to stop construction. The fact that plant growth was still minimal meant that it had been fairly recent. The footprints seemed to be going down to the hill next to the site. Following them, I finally saw something that could be called civilization. There was a set of paddy fields with houses nearby. So this actually was a settlement. What a relief. I decided to keep following the footprints and approach the settlement. I came across another unpaved path that was clearly used by people and cars. It was lined with weeds and bushes reaching up to my waist. It was home to caterpillars and grasshoppers, among other things. Spiders were no exception. There was no shortage of insects here, so it was a good place for a net. I wasn't particularly scared of spiders, but I didn't like them either. At least they were just harmless orb weavers. Oh, orb weavers are still creepy though. They're like the really long spindly bastards. Regardless, I avoided these bushes, just in case, and followed the path like a good city boy I was. There was a large boulder surrounded by grass. It was strangely tall, making it look like it was put there by people. On its dewy surface there was a grey tree frog, ready to go after the many insects scattered about. Tree frog boy. I walked a bit further and came across a house with a small field nearby. The field's location made it safe to assume it belonged to the inhabitants. If there were inhabitants anyway, I couldn't see anyone. And just like always, there was grass everywhere. Fucking hell, there was gross everywhere. There was another boulder standing next to the house. This one was obviously placed there by a human hand. What was the point? Was it a monument or something? The footprints continued into the field. The wet mud on the field was full of small, young but healthy looking rice plants. If you ignored the standing boulders in the area, the place looked like a normal farming village. I was both relieved and worried at the same time. From what I saw, there weren't any other buildings beside the ones in the settlement. Everything beyond was just mountains, meaning this place was completely isolated. And I was a complete outsider. There was no way things would go well if I ran into a random local. I belatedly crouched to hide myself a bit. It was probably best for me to go back. Kiemi might be looking for me. I don't want to say Kiemi, it's Chiemi, but I can't be asked to say it Chiemi at the same time. Suddenly, I heard a sound. I looked for its source and found a speaker in a wooden utility pole in the middle of the small plaza. A morning broadcast? I never heard this tune before. It was cheerful at first, but had some parts that seemed really dark. I found it unsettling. Perplexed, I stopped walking, and what happened next made me hide myself. There was a person in the area densely surrounded by houses, but they weren't normal. What was with that appearance? What was that on her face? Though it was a fair distance away, I could see an old woman with some sort of cloth over her face shakily walking out from between the buildings. Oddly enough, there were boulders even there. But even weirder was the fact she walked up to one of them, lightly joined her hands and bowed her head before it, her face still hidden. Then, all was silence. It actually looked like she was revering it. To me, it looked like she was praying to it. This was bad, really bad. I'd wandered into a settlement with a unique culture, to put it lightly. Forget causing trouble. An outsider like me could get killed here. I just turned around and ran for it. I dashed up the hill, past the house, through the construction site, until I arrived back at the apartment building. Kiemi looked like a relatively reasonable person. Maybe she could tell me what was up. It just hit me that the way she described this place was somewhat weird. She basically said it wasn't normal. Or maybe you're a serial killer, blah blah blah. Well, some sort of evil mountain witch now. Sounds great, I'll kill you real good. Splosh splosh. No way. Well, she was actually the bait they used to lure outsiders here. Maybe. Eventually, the broadcast stopped. Chiemi still hadn't come out of her room. She She didn't respond even when I knocked or called out to her. I didn't have to worry about this, right? This made my inexplicable unease grow worse. I wonder if this was a trap. Was I in a dangerous situation? I had to talk to her. If she was a normal person anyway, maybe my best option was to run away, right? I wouldn't know where to run. I can't remember the paths we'd taken here. Though I was pretty sure we went uphill, so maybe I had to go down. If I avoided the settlement and went back to the mountain stream, I could escape by following the wild roads. That was my best option, even with the difficulties considered. Thankfully, I take my bag with me. I took out a 5,000 yen note and put it in Chiemi's newspaper box. It was payment for last night's beer. Now I turned around to take my leave. The door to the room next to the staircase opened slightly with a creak. I saw an eye glaring at me through the gap. Gah! A high-pitched scream pierced my eardrums. I screamed too, scared shitless, and ran for it. Suddenly, I stepped into the wet hallway floor onto the wet hallway floor at a bad angle. I fell. Thud, thud, thud. I don't know who. Haru-chan, what's wrong? Whoa, who's this old guy? Who are you? And are you alright? The reasonable-sounding voice prompted me to shake off the pain and raise my head. There were two boys in formal-looking school uniforms. Which one's that? I don't know which one that is. So, are you alright? He repeated the question. Yeah, I was just startled. You friends with Chieni? Chieni? Oh, I mean, Chiemi-chan. Are you a friend of hers from college? She didn't tell us anyone was visiting. Oh, I just got into some trouble and she helped me out. There's nothing shady about me. Well, no, that's hard to believe. It really is, old man. Man, how to handle this? Anyway, my name's Haruaki Fusaishi. Here we go. Okay. I'm Yasunaga Oribe. This is Chikamochi Kamoshida. Just Mochi is fine. Good to know. If I call him that, maybe stop calling me old man. I was only 24. And this is Haru-chan. What are you doing? We don't know him. Apparently this Haru-chan was the person who looked at me through the gap in the door and screamed. He seems safe. Come out. A moment later, she slammed the door shut. After a few moments of hesitation, opened it again. She's pretty cool. Whoa. She looked like a student too, except her fashion sense was exceptionally, flashy. What voice should I give her? Who are you? Name's Haruaki Fusaishi. I crashed my motorbike nearby and Chiemi Serizawa-san would help me out. Wait, are you saying you spent the night in her room? Yeah, I did. She cut my words short with her ear-piercing shriek. So that's why it was so noisy. What were you thinking? You're not supposed to enter unmarried girls' rooms. It's indecent. Yeah, I was hesitant too, but Chiemi-san was kind enough to let me in. Why are you acting like you've known her your whole life? Wait, she's not getting out. Don't tell me you... There's a 5,000 yen note in the door. Ear-shattering scream. Don't tell me you... No. She gave me lots of booze. I'm paying back for that. Janie's body's worth way more than that. How dissolute. The hell are these kids saying? Hey, can you help me out? You drank with a girl you just met and she's not coming out. Crap, I had no allies here. What's going on? And so the subject of the conversation joined in. Oh, Chiemi-chan, can you tell them what happened last night? Something was off about her aura. What happened to the lively girl she'd been yesterday? Chieni, did you... Man, this is embarrassing. Whoa. Wait, hold on, stop! I can't be a bride anymore. Ear-piercing shriek. Man, what a mess. Though Chiemi's face was all pale, she was actually grinning. She obviously had a bad hangover, but that didn't stop her from messing around. After calming everyone down, Chiemi explained what actually happened. How we met in the middle of the night. How she let me stay out of goodwill. How we drank ourselves silly and how nothing happened between us. Thankfully. Man, it's been so long since I drank that much. Guess I wasn't prepared for it and puked it out. Sorry you had to see that, Haruaki-chan. Hey, I don't mind it. That Haru-chan girl still looked at me funny. Absurd. Anyway, sorry. I was so tired yesterday I couldn't refuse her kindness. Well, it's Chieni you're talking about. She does whatever she wants. He's got good reasons for being here too, so maybe elders will understand. Where did you find him anyway? Well... Next to the river further down. My words made everyone change their expressions. That's a bit... A big deal. 2 people in just 2 days. Did you say something bad? I was going to get it... I was going to get out sooner or later. We made quite a scene, so I wouldn't be surprised if everyone Yasumizu already knows. Hey, what do you mean by 2 people over just 2 days? Don't touch me, you're filthy! I wasn't trying to touch her and I wasn't filthy. Sure, I hadn't taken a bath in over a day, but still. Hey, you, why is it a big deal? Timing's gonna go ee. Well, that just sounded bad. Can you tell me more? It's a bit complicated. For now, just keep in mind that this is the countryside. Things are different here than in the city. This guy here was a Rebei-kun. Ignore Chiemi, and he was the easiest person to talk to. What should I do? Just leave it to me, alright? It's time for the students to eat, isn't it? Ah, but I wanted to see where this mess goes. No, you don't. Just go already, we'll catch up. Well, I guess it's best to go separately. There's probably going to be some disagreements. Yeah, I know you'd understand. Yasu-kun, take care of them for me, alright? Sure. Stop treating me like a child. Yeah, I swear I'll poop on you. Let's just get going, you two. And so the students walked off towards the stairs. It was kind of easy to tell what sort of relationship they had. Anyway. So they live in this building too? Yep, it's a student dorm, you know. A student dorm? In this Hicksville? Still, my senses have betrayed me. There are actually other people here. By the way, you didn't run into anyone else and get in trouble, right? Yeah, I was careful on that front. Good, let's go get ready to meet Let's get ready to go to the dining hall. Oh, for breakfast? Nope, eat your breakfast now. We'll go to the dining hall to introduce you. Huh? To who? To whoever has a problem with an outsider coming from Saranaga. Oh, so like that Tei-bar person. I'm in your hands then. It's fine. If you're that grateful, keep what happens this morning in secret. Sure thing. Well, Saranaga anyway. That river? Yep, the river's called Saranaga Rapids, but the area around it's called Saranaga. The place has some cultural significance. It does? Yep, they say it's a corrupt place, where the dead return from the other side. Oh, so that's why they reacted like that. Any other rules or customs I should be aware of? Oh, there's lots. So just leave everything to me, alright? Gladly, on all fronts. If I may ask, am I in danger? Nope, but you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you. And you're going to lay the groundwork for that, huh? Yep. The salmon I'd strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guide was reliable. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? That was depressing. I think I'm going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you would like to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel, as I attempt to upload every day. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.